I'm sure you've had your rich uncle or your rich auntie telling you location, location, location. This is one of the most important factors to consider when you're thinking about where to buy property. So today, let me tell you how we ended up choosing Kinoo as the location for Panda Towers 001 as a group of investors, as a group of developers who have been doing this for over 30 years. So my partners and I have together built over 500 residential units in Nairobi, in Embakasi, Kitengela, in Nyeri. We also have commercial space in Kikuyu. So we've been around the block. And we chose Kinoo as the site for this property because we saw the potential that this area brings. But let me take you back a little bit. First of all, there is a 2 million unit deficit in housing supply in Kenya. And according to Buy Rent Kenya, this deficit grows by 200,000 units every single year. So the notion that we have too many houses is not true. And that 200,000 deficit keeps growing, not because people are not building, but because the population is outgrowing the number of units that are being generated year after year. That's the bigger picture. But let's think about these 200,000 people who are coming in needing housing every single year. How do they pick where to live? Now, when you look at Nairobi, the central place is too expensive now for the person who is entering the job market. You need to be able to offer rents of between 10K and 30K to somebody who's just starting their career. And this is not possible right in the middle. So what's happening? The city is expanding. And when you look at how Nairobi is situated, of course, it can only expand in 4 directions. So let's look at each of them one by one. So the first direction is down towards Thika Road. The place where you can find an apartment for between 10 and 30K is, close to KU. So you're looking at Kahawa Skari, Kahawa Wendani, even all the way to Ruiru. That is at least an hour commute. And with Thika Road traffic, that can be even more. It can even double if you're not careful. Now let's look down Mombasa Road. There now you're going to Syokimau, Kitengela, and so on and so forth. Again, really far from where the jobs are. The CBD, Westlands, Lavington. And if you go down James Gishuru past Ngong Road, you're now moving beyond Karen towards Ngong Town, Rongai, and so on and so forth. Again, really, really far. But down Wayaki Way, what we call the Wayaki Way corridor, there's an interesting phenomenon. You can actually be 20 minutes from Westlands, 25 minutes, 30 minutes from the CBD, but still be able to get a rent of 10 to 30K. And that's why we narrowed in on that particular corridor, that location. Now, Kinoo specifically is very interesting because there's still very affordable land there. And there's an opportunity to become a premier developer in Kinoo. And that is what we want to be. We're putting up a building that is iconic. It is going to change the skyline of Kinoo because it will be the tallest one in that area. We're going up all the way to 10 floors. So you'll be able to see it from the highway. That is attractive to tenants. The second thing is the particular plot is actually very close to the road. Like I said, you can see it from the highway. But in order to get to the stage, it's less than a 5-minute walk. There's a supermarket right next. You can literally see it from the site. And the cherry on top is that the police station is actually our neighbor. We share a wall. So security is not going to be an issue at all. And when you're thinking about why is location important, is because you want a location that attracts the kind of tenant that you want. So this tenant, they'll probably be working along Wayaki Way. There you see employers like Safaricom, Deloitte, a number of the law firms. In fact, one of our customers, when she started her career, she's a lawyer. When she started her career, she actually used to work along Wayaki Way and she lived in Kinoo. So you can see that that is something that is going to continue to be true. And then if you even want to expand your tenant pool a little bit, you can actually attract people who are even working in the CBD because we're connected by the expressway. So the location itself is very, very strategic in that way, in attracting the kind of tenant that can pay the rents that we're asking for. And then over and above that, from a macro perspective, that corridor is generally being developed. The government has put aside a lot of money to develop infrastructure between Nairobi and Naivasha, and that corridor lies right in between. And when that happens, you kind of just rise up with the wave. So you can still expect your property value to increase. It's a unique location and one that you definitely want to be a part of. So my ask is that you come to site, come and see for yourself, come and see how vibrant the area is, come and see the developments that are taking place there so you can see the kind of tenant you'll be able to attract and the kind of product you can expect from Panda Towers 001. Karibuni sana.